It's your girl Anyango here, hoping that you are healthy, wealthy, and free and loving your life. Always. I'd like to talk about embracing the freedom that we have, and not necessarily psychologically or emancipation or fighting for our rights. No. There's a certain freedom that I personally was able to find within myself during the lockdown period. It was a sense of, I could do what I wanted when I wanted, speak up when I didn't like something, change things when I didn't like the way they were working. I had a certain power over my life during that moment, during that lockdown period. And as I'm sure you've heard so many times right now, is we get to realize these things when we take time away from the normal routines that we have. We take time away from the people that we tend to see all the time, or basically away from people who take control, who have control over our lives, right? And with this time away, then you're left with, what am I going to do? You're left with the responsibility to take control of your own life. And if you're conscious enough, then you use this time to actually establish ways or procedures or rules or routines that make you comfortable, that make you happy, that make you easy, live easily, live easier with yourself. Now, of course, not too many of us really got the chance to be on our own during this time. And maybe the alternative of this is when you decide that you want to take a holiday. You want to take a 3-day holiday or a 2-week holiday, or just time away, even if it's just two nights, like a weekend away, to clear your mind because you're stressed and you're exhausted and everything. And I think that the important thing is what we get to establish during these periods of time, during these moments away from everything else, and when we're just by ourselves. One of the things that we need to do is also plan how we will inculcate these habits or routines or structures into our normal lives when we get back to our normal lives. Because otherwise, you don't always get these chances to be away. There are times you really push yourself to take a holiday, but you don't always get these opportunities. It cannot be a regularly scheduled thing. If you can, well and good, but still, maybe we don't want to take holidays to always get away from people. Maybe we want to take holidays to just enjoy the time, and not have to get away from people. So if you're able to inculcate these routines and tasks and habits into your daily life once you get back, then the holidays are left to actually enjoy yourself and not having to release stress or run away. Now I established a few, or I got a few habits, established a few habits, I'm not sure of the word, sorry, that I wanted to keep doing after the lockdown period. One of them is I got very serious about doing yoga, about meditation, about my workouts, kind of had a routine in my eating, my diet, and all these things. I even had an evening routine. And these were well and good during the lockdown. They're very easy when you're on your own and living by your own rules and doing your own thing. And once I had to get back to the usual routine, a few of these habits kind of fell off. I just couldn't keep them up with everything that was going on. Not because there was no time, but because I figured, there is no time. So maybe one trick that I would suggest, and this has also been suggested by John and Missy Butcher, is that do not try to inculcate, to bring in every single thing that you would want to do. You know, you say that you want to start working out, you want to start eating healthy, you want to start watching less TV, you want to talk less on the phone, you want to read more, you want to, you know, like all of these habits. It's very difficult to start doing all of these things at the same time. And once you set a goal that's too high, then your mind immediately knows that you cannot achieve it. And it starts to bombard you with all these reasons why you shouldn't. Because the brain is supposed to protect us. That is the purpose of the brain, to protect us. So if the goal that you've set is so high and looks completely exaggerated and impossible, to the extent that it kind of puts a fear in you or a hesitation in you, or, you know, some anxiety in your body, then your brain immediately finds reasons to make you stop. And what John and Missy say, and actually so many others say, because this is also, I think, what Jim Quick says, you need to bring them in bits. So you bring them in maybe twos, you know. So you say, okay, I'm going to start off by every morning the first thing that I do is drink a liter of water, and maybe every evening before I sleep then I drink a liter of water. Okay, so you start off with that one thing, and you say, I'm going to do this for, maybe you keep it up for a week, you say 2 weeks, to make sure that you really have it dialed in to the extent that your body has gotten used to it, that it now becomes sort of a necessity for you. It becomes more normal. So it's not a habit that you're trying to make yourself establish. It's a habit. It's your character now. It's just what you do, right? And then now you can start bringing in a little bit more. So I want to make sure that I eat by this time. I want to make sure that I've slept by this time. You know, just bring them in little bits. So the one thing that I struggled with, I must say, is that I also started jogging in the morning, and it was going good, you know, like the first few weeks. Actually, it was really going well. And then at some point I brought in a whole bunch of habits. I was also starting a new workout routine. I wanted to start taking green smoothies. I wanted to start eating at a certain time. I wanted to start reading also, and it was like 5 different habits that I was bringing in addition to everything else that I was still doing. And even if I thought that this jogging in the morning had become a lifestyle in a sense, when I would wake up in the morning, because I had the previous night slept late, because I made sure that I did my reading and I did my night routine and my evening yoga and whatever it was. I ended up sleeping late, and then in the morning when I'm supposed to wake up and go for my run or my jog, I tell myself, yeah, but you know, you slept so late, you know, so your body needs to rest, your body needs to actually rejuvenate, you need all of these things, so just give yourself a little more time. And the problem is this voice. This voice is so convincing in the moment, until you finally wake up at the time that you have now decided to wake up at, and you can't do everything else that you're meant to do in the morning to ensure that your day goes smoothly. Or switch all of that to I. And then the day is kind of all messed up. So again, I actually every few weeks or so, because I'm still trying to dial these habits in, every few weeks or so I need to reestablish what habits I'm bringing in. Because, for example, the last week I only went for my jog once, disappointingly. I did do workouts, but there were actually two days when I actually did not do any workout. And if I look back and ask myself why I didn't, I decided to sleep in, and then I had no time for the workout. I just had to go shower and get ready for the day and, you know, move on. You see, so it's this overwhelm. It's this idea of, it's this feeling of being overwhelmed with so many things. And yeah, so I think just as I am as I am saying and trying to tell you, I need to, at least for this week, as I start off my week, because it's a Sunday for me, what I'm going to do is, since it's summer, the weather's good, hallelujah. One is to ensure that I do my morning run. That'll be one. I have a number of things that go with the morning run. Those ones are not even, those ones that I don't even think about. For example, immediately I wake up is I drink water and then go for the run, and after the run then I do a quick workout. Those ones kind of just go in. Once I know that I'm going for my run, the rest kind of are done. And then I think the other thing that I need to start doing is reading. I have stopped reading. It was supposed to be a book a week after I finished my speed reading class with Jim Quick, and that's just gotten messed up. So I need to make sure that I do my reading. So I think for this week I'm going to do those two. It'll be making sure that I go for my run every morning, and that I do my reading 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, every day, right? And I hope that actually gets, I will get it done. I will get that done. I need to get my routine back in order, because we're trying to be better than we were yesterday. We're trying to grow, we're trying to move forward, we're trying to be better. And for me to get to the places that I want to get to in the next few years, or in the next few months actually, because the year is almost done, y'all. 2020 is almost done. So if I want to achieve the goals that I have set, then these habits need to be dialed in. These habits need to be there. So yeah, that's my weekly plan, because that's something else that I've been meaning to start doing every Sunday, get my weekly plan in. So that is my weekly plan, at least for this week, to ensure that I do those things every day. Yeah. So I hope that kind of helps out anybody who feels like there's so much that I'm supposed to do and I cannot do everything, and am I superhuman, Don't get overwhelmed. The key to overcoming overwhelm, let me actually get that. I have it right here. Can you see? Okay, it's upside down. It says, the key to overcoming overwhelm, focus on the next step, or focus on the step ahead, should be on the next step. Let go of the big picture, right? So you've already set the big picture. You already know the goal, the vision, where we're headed to. And once that is there, then you're good to go. And then now you break it down into what habits I need to dial in. And then forget about that big, of course it's written down somewhere, it's noted somewhere, you don't forget it completely, you have it written down somewhere, right? And once it's written down, then forget about it and work on the steps that you have set. You have your steps, weekly, monthly, whatever. And at least in terms of my habits, these are the habits that I want to establish, right? So that's my gem for the day. And I hope you have a good week, or rest of the week whenever you're watching this. And I will see you in the next video.